another video, my friends. I hope you're staying healthy, and I hope you're staying safe wherever you might be in the world. It's been a few weeks. I've had some ups and downs over the last few weeks. I appreciate the well wishes and the condolences. Just so you know, my mother-in-law passed, and we paid our respects over the last couple of weeks, and we're in a good place, and we just need to keep marching forward. So thanks for hanging with me. So let's get to the video today. Today I'm in Huntington Beach, California, and I'm shooting on the Canon EOS R with the 24-105. And what I want to talk about today is shooting in this ultra bright light and being able to slow down your shutter. Now, when you slow down your shutter, what that means is if you're going to, let's say, 1/8 of a second or 1 second or 20 seconds, what that means is you're going to let a lot of light into the sensor. And the only way to compensate for that internally on the camera is the ISO, which ISO, as low as it can go, at least on this camera, is 100. And then your aperture, we can bump that up to maybe f/16, f/18, f/22. But that might not get it there if you wanted to get a nice shot of, let's say, smoothing out the waves, or there's no clouds in the sky today, but if we wanted to get wispier clouds, that would be what we would be looking for to do. However, we can't do that without an exterior or alternative piece of hardware, and that would be an ND filter. So what an ND filter allows you to do is basically put sunglasses on your lens. So the ND filter that I want to talk about today is the Freewell 10-stop ND filter. So ND filter come in all shapes and sizes, from, let's say, 1 stop all the way up to 15 stops, and maybe more. I only know up to 15 stops. This filter is also known as an ND 1000, or I think a ND 3.0 might be another name. Don't quote me on that, but you can look that up. But definitely an ND 1000 or a 10-stop ND filter. So the reason I chose this brand was that what it comes with is a ring that you place on your actual inner lens. Let me pull it out here. What I like about it, and it comes with a little cover here. What I like about it, how many times am I going to say? And I like about it. What I like about it is that you can slap it right on there, and it's magnetic. It's magnetic, everybody, and that's key. Now, you can pull it off. You can also, what you can do is you can stack polarizers or other NDs on top of it, and if you have your own ND filter system with threads, circular threads, that you can actually put that and attach that on top of this. So you can stack a lot of different types of NDs or graduated filters if you have the threads to do so. So let's go ahead and compose an image just as you would normally if you're out here at the beach, let's say 6 o'clock in the evening, got a lot of sunlight. I got one set up here at 1/6400th of a second at f4, and I'm at ISO 800. Let's get down to ISO 100 and slow up that shutter speed. So right there is about good. Okay, so we're at 1/640th of a second, f4, ISO 100. We're going to go ahead and snap this shutter. Okay, a pretty image. You know, it's not bad. But what I want to do is I want to slow down or smooth out that water a little bit. Now, the only way to do that here is I need to leave my shutter open for a longer period of time. So like I said earlier, that's going to bring in a lot more light. So I'm already at ISO 100, can't go any lower than that. I'm at f4, so I could bump that up to, let's say f16, okay? But my shutter speed is still at 1/640th. That's still pretty fast. So let's go down to something a little slower, like 1/30th. That's not too bad, but things are starting to get blown out. If I really want the waves to be a little bit smoother, I need to get somewhere in the range of, let's say, half a second or a second. And if you can pan to the back of the screen here, what you're going to see is really just a bunch of mist and whiteness. So what ends up happening is that you're not going to get the image that you want. Now, you might be able to bring this back in post a little bit, but I want to, let's say, shoot for, let's say, 4 seconds on this exposure. Look at that. We have nothing but a white screen. So to compensate for that, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot this in 4 seconds. And like I predicted, my live shot actually told me what I was looking at, and basically I've got a washed out, blown out, highlight driven scene. So what we're going to do, we're going to put on our trusty 10-stop ND filter. And what you should always try to do is bring out a cloth or wipe to clean off your ND, especially if you drop it in the sand. Not good. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to just slap it on the front. Like I said, it's magnetic, that easy, and we're ready to go. And actually, if you come back to the back of the screen, I put that ND filter on, so essentially I have sunglasses on it, and you might not be able to see this, but it's super dark, so that means I can actually bump up or slow down my shutter a little bit more. I'm going to go 15 seconds, and let's see what we get here. Let's go ahead and shoot that off. And 15 seconds later, we've got ourselves a nice image with a lot of wispy water or smoothed out water. It looks really pretty. Go ahead and fire off this image. So I'm going to go ahead and take another shot. I'm actually going to bump it up at 30 seconds. A 10-stop ND filter or a ND 1000 is just going to allow you to bring that much more light in the middle of the day. Now we are at about 6 o'clock in the evening here, so if you're talking about, let's say, noon, it's still going to work fabulously if you want a different kind of shot. Go ahead and fire off this image. I think I may even like that shot even better, but to each his own. You can select how long that you want to leave the shutter open. Now, I will leave down in the description below a link or two that has some charts that give you a little bit more guidance in how long you should leave your shutter open, depending on the lens you're using, depending on your settings. But what I would really suggest, especially if you have live view, use the up to 30 seconds, because after that you're going to need to use bulb mode to go longer. But just allow yourself to just tinker and practice and make mistakes. It's okay that your image is washed out. Change the settings. You'll learn more that way than just following things on a chart, because that's just going to allow you, if you start to follow things on a chart, you're going to be a little bit more robotic. This, nobody told me what to put the seconds up to. The settings are what I felt looked good on the back of the camera, especially in my live view, and I shot the shot and it was true to form. So I would suggest actually just tinkering with the settings and shooting as many images that you want, because obviously you're on a digital camera, you can shoot as many images as you want. Just remember this though, in any type of photography that you're doing, enjoy the beautifulness, enjoy the moment, and I hope that you got something out of this. Again, I chose this ND filter for this reason, and this main reason only, is that it is a magnetic ND filter, and it's a system that really works really well and really simply. It comes with a magnetic cover, so you can leave it on the cover there and just slap it back on like that. And also, if you come around the front here, what we have is, maybe I didn't explain this earlier, but what this is that it's a ring with an actual UV filter on the front, so always protecting your lens. So what I want to remind you of when you're choosing a specific ND filter or ND filter system is spend a little bit of money on it. This costs or comes in at around $99 or $108, somewhere right around there. It's a nice filter system. I recommend this one here. I'm not being sponsored by this company or anything. I just really chose this for the magnetic feature on it, but it's turning out to be a really nice ND system. And again, you don't want chromatic aberrations or distortions with cheaper ND filters. That's going to do it, you all. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Please leave me a comment down below. I'd love to chat with you. Let me know if you're using any ND filter systems. Please give me a like if this video provided you any value whatsoever, and ring that bell to notify you of new videos. They come out every Monday and Thursday. Until the next one, I love y'all. Peace.